tell you a little bit about my background. Like, Byron said, I come from the John Oldham agency. I held every single position there is to know with this company. And that's the beauty of the advice I'm giving you guys. I understand what you go through, the same mistakes, the same pain, the same lessons that you're all learning. I've also learned myself the hard way. And what's funny is I just played a video from my agency earlier. It was my original release meeting video where I had to record a presentation. I was shaking violently on that. I was awkward, uncomfortable. And it just goes to show that everything we do here is skill-based. It's not God-given talent. God-given talent is you're born 7 feet tall and you got a 30% chance to make the NBA simply because you're a 7-footer born on earth. Do you guys realize 30% of 7-footers make the NBA? That's God-given. All right. I didn't get God-given talent. I was average and athlete. I had to outwork people as a smaller guy, and I was a scrapper to earn my start in spots in sports, but I'd outwork people. I had to run harder, do more, because I didn't have the natural abilities that other people had, but I had to earn the skills. And that's what I want you guys to understand is you're going after a record-breaking week. In order to have a record week for yourself, it's about beat your best week. Step one is you need to know what number you're going after. You need to identify the biggest week you ever had. And my advice to you is do 20% more than that. If you guys did 20% more the biggest week you ever had and everybody did that at once, I promise you're breaking an agency record. But it has to be a strategy to it and a science behind it. You just can't go, I'm going to do this week. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You need to figure out what you've done before and then challenge yourself. And I take that every week of my career. Every week I try to have the biggest week I've ever had because I know the biggest week I've ever had. It's pretty easy. Beat that week. Then that becomes a new bar. It's like when you go to the gym, the most you've ever lifted or benched or whatever your cup of tea is in there, what your best is. And that's what you strive to do. So you need to have something in front of you that you can just have there and understand that if you peel back the layers from it, it's easy to accomplish. So what I wanted to go through with you guys is what I call the check 6. And I'm going to share it briefly with you and then I'll go through it. And I can send this over email, to Byron. This is a check 6. This is how my agency runs their business. I have one for managers and one for producers. And this week we're talking about production. So I'll focus on the top half, which is the agent side. Guys, the key to freedom is being in control. What this gives you is the ability to manage yourself and manage your business and keep it very simple for you. Step one, if you want to have the biggest week you ever had, you need to know what's the most appointments I've ever ran. Hit that goal, right? Referrals, guys, are a byproduct to connections. Everybody communicates, few connect. Everyone communicates, few connect. You need to focus on connection. And I'll talk about that. All right. If you go to the next part of your check 6, step 1's activities. Step 2 is referrals. Step 3 is production. You need to know what your number is you're going to hit. Notice I didn't say try. I don't use the word try. It's not in my vocabulary. Try to lift your right arm. Try to lift your right arm. You either lift it or you don't. Try doesn't exist. Try is a word made up by losers who didn't feel like doing something in the first place, so they say they tried. No, you just chose not to. That's a choice. You didn't try anything. You either lift your arm, you choose to lift it, or choose not to. There's no such thing as try. So stop saying I tried. You're either making right choices or making wrong choices. You decide. All right? So when we're talking about just being that elite producer that each of you are trying to be, when we want to go after a record-breaking week, it comes down to momentum. And Byron, when does the week start?
The week starts, the fiscal week starts Wednesday night.
Okay. So none of you are behind. What day is today? In your brain, today's Sunday. None of you are behind right now. None of you are playing catch up. You're all getting ahead today. Today is designed to make tomorrow better. Every day in my life, I wake up to make tomorrow better. That's all I focus on. I don't focus on what I don't have today or what I didn't do yesterday. because yesterday created today. Today is a byproduct of the actions I took yesterday. You guys have choices today to make. Choose your heart. It's hard to work hard. It's hard to work easy, right? It's hard to be single. It's hard to be in a relationship. It's hard to be married. It's hard to go through divorce. Choose your heart. It's hard to be very involved. It's hard to be disconnected. I choose my heart every day. Heart is just what's part of life. Accept it, embrace it, and choose your heart. Don't deal with your heart. Don't react to what's difficult. Respond. Choose how to respond. All right. So one, you got to wake up and understand that right now you're about setting tomorrow up for success. You need to decide right now, how many appointments am I going to run tomorrow evening? What is my goal? So one, if you're talking about activity, you need to have a plan in place for every single day you plan on working. And if you guys are emptying the clip and going hard over the next week, what is your goal for how many appointments you want to run every day? Now, if you have certain non-breakables or unnegotiables in your life, like you go to church, you have a family birthday party Saturday, whatever it might be, you need to write that in your schedule. Those are called non-negotiables, where if that cup's empty, your other cups can't get full. Like every day I'm up at 6:15, I stretch and meditate. I go to the gym. I listen to my spiritual podcast. I walk to the gym at 6:15 in the morning. I listen to a spiritual podcast on the way. And then I'm listening to Ed Milet. I'm filling my cups. I have 3 different cups: my mental cup, my physical cup, my spiritual cup. Every one of those cups are overflowing by 7:30 in the morning. So it allows me to take my full cup and pour into others. Right now, you guys, if you want to have an excellent elite week, you need to be full in the other areas of your life. You need to invest some time to mind, body, and spirit. And I'm not saying you need to start bench pressing, even if it's just walk for 15 minutes. Watch the second wind of energy you get. But if you discipline yourself every single day this week, it's going to allow you to do more because you have more. I can't give what I don't have. What I would encourage you guys to do is this week, you should already be motivated. You need to listen to a sales book. My favorite one I've listened to over 1,000 times and read 100 is How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Bettcher. He was partnered with Dale Carnegie. He did public speaking with Dale Carnegie. And this dude failed in life insurance for his first 6 months until he changed his career. And I'm not going to give you any more than that. Pick up the book. It changed my career. All right. But step one is, what is the goal? Every action you take needs to be disciplined out if you're going to break a record this week. Your time needs to work for you. See, I kick everyone's ass because I break my days down to mini days. I have 3 days for every 1 day the average person has. If I have 21 days a week and you have 7, who's going to win based on numbers alone? I break down 3 6-hour mini days, I call them. I have 3 days throughout my day. That's why I do more in less time. My time is every hour. If I showed you guys my schedule, and I will, every hour is mapped out. And then if you click the hour, it's detailed even more. This was my day today. Every hour on the hour. Look where I'm at, right on time. I even have to mark when I eat or I forget to eat, guys. I'm not even kidding. Like if I don't write down lunch, I don't eat lunch. All right. So one is, what are you going to do in the hour? There's an action and then an audit. I believe in every schedule, you need to audit your time. I do it every day. I call it the action audit. I have an action item in the hour, and then I audit the time after so I know what I accomplished. All right. What is the goal? Like if you're going, I'm going to make phone calls from this time to this time. That's not a goal. You got to go, how many calls am I going to make? What is the goal of appointments I want to set? And if you've never done that, focus on calls, not sets, because you don't know how many calls to a set. I'm not big on the, like I have to micromanage someone's data. If I have to watch someone's data to make sure they're working to feed their family, I hired the wrong person. They need to manage themselves. I only surround myself with winners. Losers, I just don't have room for them in my life. I call them vampires, energy suckers, and I put a stake to them because my energy and vibes I protect more than anything on earth. No negative people are in my life. especially when I'm breaking records, because I don't have room for anybody or anyone that drags me down. Only people that are assets, energy assets, not liabilities. So you want to break a record this week, you better pay attention to who you're talking to, what you're pumping into your head, what your routine is like, or you will not break a record. You need to be disciplined every day. Every day and every hour needs to work for you. Do you guys know when you have negative thoughts? You've heard the devil's playground is the idle mind. You've heard that, right? Do you know how you have an idle mind? Is when you don't have a schedule. I can't remember, not even the last day, the last year I had a negative thought. I can't even remember it because my schedule is so structured. I don't have time for having an idle mind. As soon as I get out of this meeting, I'm in my next, bam, my day's done. And I kicked ass again. My time works for me. And I know what I'm doing in that time, what the goal is, what the action is, and then I'm going to audit it to make sure I'm not wasting time in my structured schedule. If you don't audit your time, how do you know that it's the most efficient way to do it? If you don't audit how many appointments you set when you make phone calls, how do you know when the best time to set is? You're just going through emotion with no emotion. I audit it so I know if it works or not. ROI is business 101, return of investment. When I spend time with people, Byron's a good friend to me, right? I'm investing time into him. He's a friend. I know that it's going to pay dividends. That's what I do. Everything in my life is about ROI. I do not waste time because I value my time. If you don't value your time, no one on earth will. Family, friends, you name it. Certain people are givers and certain people are takers. And if you're a giver, you're probably surrounded by a lot of takers. I was. So I have to audit my time to make sure I'm not being taken advantage of. What makes me a lead in sales is I'm very empathetic. I care about people. But if I don't protect my time, no one else will. They'll just take advantage of me. I have to identify when that happens and cut those people out quick, or they're winning and I'm losing. Notice takers just take, and they're going to keep taking until you got nothing left to give. Surround yourself with other givers and watch how you grow. Everyone I have has my back because I have their back. All right. When you're talking about what you're trying to do, you need to make sure that you're filling your cups. You need to make sure you have a target for your week, and you need to manage your time. If you add those action items to setting up your playbook, guys, I promise you, you're going to have the best week you've ever had.
So I really appreciate your time, man. God bless you. Let's give a round of applause to Nick, everyone. Let's just get it home, man. Awesome.